Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 102 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series. For today is another very special episode, 3 in a row, where we are beginning Living World Season 1. Where two things before we get started into Living World Season 1. The first is within Season 1 and Season 2, there is a fair bit less of voice acting going on, where there isn't much player character voice acting, and as a result, there's a lot more reading. So these episodes might be like a little bit slower, where I stop and read a lot, and I will be reading. So if you enjoy me reading through different dialogue stuff, you should enjoy the next couple of seasons of Guild Wars 2 a little bit more, and then the opposite if you feel the opposite. And then second, just to give a quick summary and a bit of context going into Living World Season 1, we just finished the entire personal story where we progressed from our simple roots here in the Grove, or if you play as a human in Shaymore and Divinity's Reach, and then for all the different races through the world where we joined the different orders, and then we united the three orders into the Pact and defeated Zhaitan. And as we head into Living World Season 1, we are basically in the aftermath of having defeated Zhaitan, where the Pact is still a force that is doing things around the world, but we are basically kind of just going on our own a little bit and helping out here and there where we can, and then getting caught up into some bigger stories that may or may develop more in the future as we continue progressing through the story. But that's basically where we are right now, where Zhaitan is dead and we are just out in Tyria, and we will have some things going on. Where to start Living World Season 1, if you come into our story journal here, you can see we have completed my story, and we are automatically down here progressed linearly into Living World Season 1 with Chapter 1 or Episode 1, Flame and Frost. New friends, new enemies, where there is this letter that we got that I said I would read here. Call to Arms. Written by Kaith, Valiant, Air, and Rithok are in over their heads. The Dredge and Wayfarer Foothills and the Flame Legion and Diasa Plateau have joined forces to create the Molten Alliance. Together, they're assaulting the lands north of Hobrak and the Black Citadel. Our friends have been overwhelmed by the refugees seeking aid in their cities. I would gladly lend them assistance, but matters in the Grove demand my attention. I would like you to head to the Imperator's Core and of the Black Citadel. The city's tribunes have assembled a defense quorum. Check in with the quorum and let them know you're there to help. I'm sure what they need most is volunteers to quell their attackers, but Rithok may have more to add if you speak to him after the assembly. Good luck, Kaith. So some sort of alliance between the Dredge and the Flame Legion, which is an unusual alliance, but it seems like they're just being a little bit of a threat that we have to deal with. So let's go ahead and visit the refugee camp in the Black Citadel all the way over here, and we do have road completion, which we got several episodes ago, so we can waypoint to wherever we want. So right over here, as everything loads in, we have a refugee camp, and we have Billis Jaw shot here, where he says, "Don't suppose you've got any news from the north. My hackles won't lie down. Tribune Brimstone sent scouts up to find out what's going on. I hope we hear back soon. Why are there so many refugees? It has to be some kind of major offensive. They're systematically taking all of our ranches in the northwestern corner of the plateau. I hate the Flame Legion." Where we can see just a bunch of Char refugees here. This one refugee is very, very angry, but let's go ahead and maybe we can just slide over here, waypoint to here, and then we have our story mission, new friends, new enemies, with what looks like the Imperator's Core here, which looks very cool, at the Command Core, and then we have a conversation up here as we run up to here with Rithok Brimstone and a Char by the name of Rox.
Talk about that later. I've got a mission for you. You're aware of the refugee situation.
Yes, Tribune. I heard the Flame Legion have been mobilizing in northern Diasa Plateau.
You heard right. They're mucking with our assets up there, and it's singeing my fur. I need you to secure that hatchery we discussed. You think you can handle that?
Yes, Tribune. I'll leave right away.
Good. Take any support you can find. You're likely to need it.
Yes, Tribune.
Support she can find, as we are in the background of that conversation. We're to speak with the Char soldier Hello, Rocks. The Molten Alliance is indefensible. Attacking a hatchery of baby devourers, disgraceful and cowardly. Do you need support? I could use an extra sword. The hatchery is north of the town of Nolan in Diasa Plateau. I'll meet you there. Bring in your friends who want to come too. My name's Rocks. What yours? Athaselian. How do I get there? Head out of the northern gates. And we know where to go because we have been to the town of Nolan before. Rithok Brimstone, good to see you, Commander. Unfortunately, this is a private defense quorum, so let's just ask on behalf of the Pact. We are here to lend a hand where we can go ahead and help out Rox. And we completed Rox critical mission, witness Rox's meeting with Rithok. 1 achievement point for us, but there are a ton of achievement points in Living World Season 1, more so than a bunch of other eras of Guild Wars 2. Where let's go ahead and we actually want to meet Rithok at his office before we head out to the town of Nolan. Here we see kind of an older model of Rithok Brimstone, and we have another NPC, a Norn by the name of Bram.
I have to send troops. My friends, my home. We're losing everything. People are dying.
Who do you think you are, barging into my office like this?
My people are hunters. They don't know how to fight an army.
True, but that doesn't make me your keeper. You're in the wrong place. Go talk to Newt Whitebear. I'm up to my eyeballs in refugees.
I'm Heir's son. I heard. I thought you would help.
Heir has no son. Get out of my office, now!
A Norn claiming to be Heir Stegaken's son.
Norn need to take care of their own messes.
I'm so mad I can't show my anger. Not here. I need to head back to Hobrak, see if I can convince Whitebear to send reinforcements to Kragstead. Don't suppose you'd like to come along? I might. Why didn't Brimstone help you? You'll have to talk to him to find out. I'm not asking him to go himself, just to send some troops, so be it. I'll speak with Newt Whitebear in Hobrak. He's a wise man. He'll listen to reason. Why didn't you go to Hobrak first? Let's just say I have ghosts from my past there that I try to avoid. My mother, to be specific. It never ends well whenever she and I are in the same room. I barely know her anyways. Bram Erson, you've probably heard of my mother. She's a famous hero, a member of Destiny's Edge, Heir Stegaken. I'm not bragging, mind you. I take after my father. Nice to meet you, Bram. So, Heir has a son named Bram from Kragstead, who is hanging out here trying to get help from Rithok Brimstone and the Legions, where Kaith didn't send me to help with the Diasa situation, where there is a lot of Flame Legion, and we can go ahead and just assist however we can, where we got the achievement Bram, help from the Legions, where this is very similar to meeting Rox for the first time, and we just got this mail from Rithok where we get directions to the hatchery, where we can fight the Molten Alliance. And I think next, head to the North Nolan hatchery, where if we head to the town of Nolan, when I explored through Diasa Plateau a very long time ago, I kind of mentioned that we would be doing this story mission in the future when we got a special point of interest, which is actually in an instanced area, which is where we are heading to next. But you can just like brush up against the door to get the point of interest out in the open road, so you can get road completion. But the town of Nolan is a very fun area with the strawberry patch way back there in the distance. And we can go ahead and run up into this brand new area, brand new with Living World Season 1. It has been in the game for a very, very long time. Let's go ahead and enter this story mission where we see Rox here with what looks like a couple of other char. And as we load in, there's like a lot of fire. Let's confer with Rox.
We're close. I scouted around while waiting for you, and it doesn't look good. I'm seeing signs of dredge. We go fast and silent until Sneaky doesn't cut it anymore. Then we go fast and mean.
Some cool statues back there.
Wait, something's not right. Be on your guard.
Let's fight through the invaders. So we got a Molten Shadow Blade here. So some sort of like Flame Legion char where we just got Tower Nemesis, kill 4 different factions of Scarlet's minions anywhere in Tyria. And then we progress this achievement to kill invaders. So if we come all the way down here into the first entry of the Story Journal Achievements tab, all the way down to Flame and Frost, we have a bunch of achievements we can work towards, which I've already completed some, where we completed some events in Diasa Plateau. But we should be very familiar with the Flame Legion. So some of these models look very familiar, but some of these are kind of new, with like some new armor sets and whatnot. But what's very, very interesting is that we have this Dredge here, who's also kind of like decked out in some Flame Legion stuff, where the Dredge and the Flame Legion are working together. And this does actually kind of make a little bit of sense, because we see the Dredge and the Flame Legion in very, very, very like close areas to one another, where we see the Dredge a lot in like the Shiver Peaks, especially in the Wayfarer Foothills just west of here, but we do see a little bit of them in Diasa Plateau, and then we see a lot of the Flame Legion here in Diasa Plateau and other areas of Ascalon as well. So it seems like somehow, for some reason, that they have united in order to do something that we're going to have to figure out. Where maybe they're just trying to cause chaos, and maybe they have a little bit of a bigger goal. Where we can see they seem to be sharing like technology and magic with each other so that they can become stronger. Whereas the Flame Legion have some like more Dredge based technologies, and the Dredge have some like Flame Legion like elements added to their armory. Where we have this Fire Shaman here that we can go ahead and defeat, and then there's that Reverberant in the back just pelting us down. Very easy to defeat. Living Road Season 1 is definitely pretty easy content, similar to the personal story, where all the story content in Guild Wars 2 is definitely pretty easy, but we're going to see with Living Road Season 1, it's definitely getting a little bit harder. Where there are Dredge Sonic Emitters. Let's go ahead and summon everything that we can right now. Throw down a bunch of fields. We can see that there are all the Devour eggs around here. There are a ton of Dredge and Flame Legion back there. Or shall we just start calling them Molten Alliance back there. There's the last Sonic Emitter, and then you have all of these Molten Alliance here. Let's go ahead. Try to use our Shroud abilities against them. And then I think we just need to clear out this group in order to progress. Where there are these portals, but we cannot attack the portals, they're just there. So we just need to clear through the units. We have such cool attacks as our Reaper, where we can really just deal a ton of AoE damage. We just have 2 left here. There goes 1. There's some more other abilities, so I'm going to finish with this one. There we go. Let's secure the hatchery area. Let's try to get the hatchlings up and at him. Where we have another portal coming in here with a Blade Master. Should be pretty easy to clear through this group, but we saw we just progressed a little bit, so we are probably going to have to kill a bunch of units as we continue through here. We could also maybe try to like pull them out of the area, and we can continue trying to get some of these Devourers alive. There's another group already. Let's try to pull them like this maybe, and then we could sit them there. Oh, they're still kind of in. Okay, let's hold off on attacking the Resonator for just a second, and let's keep him... Oh, there's another group. Okay, so it's just going to keep going forward. So let's go ahead and defeat the Smoke Shaman first, maybe. Try to get whatever AoE attacks we can, and then just focus everything down, and then eventually claim this area. The Gathering Storm, 30 invaders defeated. This Molten Igniter is really cool with like a flamethrower, which definitely feels like Dredge technology. Well, maybe we've seen Flame Legion using flamethrowers before, but that's such a cool looking weapon. Go ahead and defeat that one, and then fully secure this area where we have Scythio Quicklash.
Hey there. I'm here on Tribune Brimstone's orders. Report.
We had no warning. They came out of the ground before we could sound the alarm. Dredge and Flame Legion
Your warband?
was stationed here, yeah. Some are dead, but the others barricaded themselves behind the south gate. Here's the key. The invaders were in pursuit. We have to...
You're wounded. You stay here and warn away
Alright, let's head to the upper training ground. So let's go up this way where we can head up there. And I think, where's the best way? Right here. So we have this gate right here, and then we are going to need rocks. Whereas we're running this way, we can see a baby devourer is following rocks right now. She told the devourer to go away. It's still following us.
I can't take care of you right now.
Still following us.
There's the gate. Let me handle this.
As Rocks opens the gate, the baby devourer is just staring at us right now. Very, very, very cute devourer, and it's still following after us. Weird. Let's be on the lookout for any Molten Alliance.
Get! I don't want another pet.
So Rocks is definitely some sort of like ranger wielding a bow, and seems to have drawn the affinity of this baby devourer who does not want to leave her. Ton of dead char and devourers up here, which is very sad.
Smell that? Something's not right. That's sulfur, and that means Flame Legion. They're near. Stay close.
Stay close and hold out against the invaders. Let's try to protect this baby devourer with our lives. Where we just have a ton of Molten Alliance coming in from 2 directions, it looks like. They're technically like 4 directions with 4 different portals. Here's a group here. Another group here. Where we have held out against the invaders, it looks like. And we have a big portal now. Rocks running towards it and just roaring. It looks like it's opening. Let's see what comes through.
Surrender, female. Outnumbered and outgunned.
I don't think so. I've seen things scarier than you come out of my pet.
That is one big dredge, the enemy leader. Where we have a champion here, projectiles bounce, lingering AoE. Let's just try to get as much early damage as we can. We have killed 60 invaders now, so we're making good progress on that achievement. And when it comes to the achievements, I'll see how much I want to do, and we can progress through maybe a good chunk of the achievements, because there are definitely a bunch of really good rewards that we can get through the achievements in Living World Season 1, where it's a really, really, really good season for like new players to play through, because it is like the first content after the personal story, and there are some really good rewards. 20%, let's try to finish this fight. Can just use this over and over, and there we go. Let's go ahead and debrief with Rocks, because it looks like we have saved this area, but maybe not in time.
Look, tread marks, footprints. They took some of the workers away, alive. I have to secure the hatchery, but then I'm going to track them down. When I find out where they took the prisoners, I'll contact you. Come on, bud. Let's get you something to eat.
It looks like Rocks is warming up to this devourer, and we have completed new friends, new enemies. Let's go ahead and get our Dragon Bash reward, which I'll talk about another time. And then Rocks is just hanging out here, where we can go ahead and check in with Quick-Lash over here. Where it seems like he's injured but alive, which is good, where we have a lot of different dialogue options here. And I think if you want to read through them, you can go ahead and just pause on each thing, where we can go ahead and continue to the battle for Kragstead next, where we need to go to the Wayfarer Foothills. But we also got Refugee Child's Drawing, which is an iconic Guild Wars 2 item because of a meme, which if I remember, I'll go ahead and link the meme down in the description, where we can go ahead and basically just eat this piece of paper to get some karma. 5,000 karma, which is fun. And then we got some like random items that we can go ahead and look at as well, but we don't really care about any of that. Where we got 2 letters here. Rithok, need message carried. As long as you're going to Holbrak, you're going to Holbrak next, right? Give that mangy old mutt nude white bear a message for me. Tell him I've got Norn refugees coming up in my office and don't appreciate it, especially ones that claim to be Heir's son. Oh, and I wouldn't protest if you have to do Norn ale for me while you're down there. It's far stronger than the watered down dirt we've got at the Citadel from Murdoch. Where for Rox, we got a thank you. At the Zelling, I want to thank you for assisting me at the hatchery, especially since it was a warband test. I would have failed if it weren't for you. This was the first stage of my trials, which means I owe you big time. I'm still shocked that Brimstone is even considering me, but we've got bigger fillets to sear. I've been talking to a few Vigil representatives. They're closing in on the location of the Molten Alliance headquarters, at least one of them. There are hundreds of thousands of old mines lining the Shiver Peaks, so it might take a little digging to track down the right one. Regardless, when I find out, you find out, then we'll take the fight to them. Until then, rest up. Rox. Let's go visit the refugee camp in Holbrook, which is going to be a little interesting because Dragon Bash is currently going on, so we can get a little sneak peek at this festival. But I'll dive deep into this festival next year, where I'm wanting to start looking at Guild Wars 2's festivals with the Bazaar of the Four Winds and the Queen's Pavilion, where we have this refugee camp right over here, where we got a bunch of Dragon Bash stuff just going around us right now.
Gouge their eyes out. Tear them to shreds.
This farmer is very upset. Where we got Hava Grey Wolf right here. Last thing we need is more Gawkers. We're having a hard enough time taking care of all these refugees. More of them show up every day from the north. Whitebear sent some Wolfborn to scout, but no news yet. Apparently the Dredge have risen up with a vengeance, and rumor has it they have help. Magical help. Into the battle for Kragstead, Newt Whitebear's loft. We can find Bram once again with heirs to Gawkin and Garn.
Is that you send a group of Wolfborn to Kragstead. Dredge and Flamechar are burning our homes.
I am well aware. The smart ones are evacuating, coming here, where we can protect them.
The smart ones? You mean the wounded and near-death ones? The fierce are fighting, dying.
I'm sorry, I can't spare anyone. Perhaps there are others who will help you.
What about you, Heir?
Bram, you need to stay here in Holbrook. The people of Kragstead will...
No! You stay, cowering around your bonfires. Soon as I restock my supplies, I'm going to get my people.
I didn't mean...
Who was that kid?
my son.
I see the resemblance. He has your stubbornness.
So Heir just admitted to it. This chat with Bram. Doesn't Newt realize that people are dying? I guess I have to go alone. Some of my homesteaders refuse to leave Kragstead, and they're going to be massacred if I wait around for help. You don't have to go alone. We can go ahead and help him. Bram, Heir's son. Where we got Newt and Heir that we can go ahead and check with really quickly. I'm here to offer my services, where we can go help out the Molten Alliance, and just the people of Holbrook. And Heir, where we can ask if she knows what's happening and just what she has been told, and we can go ahead and just help out with the situation. So just like with the Nolan Hatchery, this is a new area introduced with Living World Season 1, which does have a point of interest in it, which we just came up here really quickly to grab, and we can go ahead and finally explore this area with this very cool loading screen art of Bram Airson here. And then we can come up these steps where we can meet up with Bram, who is a guardian, which makes a lot of sense because he is going to be guarding his homestead here.
I can do this.
I love his shield.
I smell smoke. We have to go, my friends.
Here, let's save the villagers. As Bram opens up the gates, we should expect the worst. I see some fires everywhere and some Molten Alliance where there are a bunch of wounded villagers all around here.
No, not another attack.
No! I can't handle this!
And let's just try to help out the Norn here, who look like they've been taken prisoner, it seems like. A Molten Axe Fiend here. And we can continue progressing the achievements as well as we go through all these areas. So we have one group right here that we can try to save. But we also have some Molten Alliance coming from this direction, so we might just have to defeat all of them. It's fun playing through these missions again because I haven't played through them since they were originally reintroduced during the End of Dragons expansion. which was a long time ago now, but long after Living Road Season 1 originally came out. I have this Veteran Molten Axe Fiend, and then we'll see if this is what we need in order to save this group, or if there's going to be another group attacking us. There we go. The shield is down, and they can go ahead and flee out of Kragstead, and then we can continue with these groups around here as well. A challenging Blade Master here, who just looks so incredibly cool. Let's go ahead and try to defeat him, and then that should be all the villagers in this area saved. We can accompany Bram to the next area. And let's just take a moment to appreciate this very unique village, which we really only ever come here during the story mission, but you can come here in the open world where you can like load into like a special instance just from in the open world without being in the story to explore this area with all the villagers around here. And I think there's like a couple of things that you can do in that version, but really all we got going on here is the story mission, where it's just a really cool looking area. I love all the statues, like these two wolf carvings here are very, very cool. I think they're carvings, maybe they're actually statues.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
We have a sonic periscope here. Let's go ahead and attack this. And then we got some Molten Alliance, so we can go ahead and fight. And we just have another area that we need to secure, where maybe we just sit right here. Let's see what happens if we continue sitting. Okay, there's another group coming in from back there. And this is going to be very similar to the last story mission, where I think we're just going to have to defend this area from waves, basically. Looks like they knocked Bram down for a moment, but he can get back up. But they are now charging towards us, so we're going to have to deal with this group. And there's another group just patrolling off in the distance over there. This area is almost secured. Nothing spawned. There were some Molten spawning back there.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Holbreck.
I came back for you. Where are the others?
They were chased up the mountain. I couldn't move fast enough.
I'll go. Will you be?
I'll be okay. You be careful.
Let's head to the caves. I think Bram will follow us. Maybe we follow Bram. But this area kind of reminds me of an area from the Eye of the North where you like fight the Norn Bear, also known as Svanir. And I don't know why it reminds me of that, and I can't even really remember what that area in the original Guild Wars looks like, but I feel like it must be similar to this if it's reminding me of that in the past. Let's go ahead and defeat this excavator.
You need to get through.
And let's get through here where we have this gate that we currently cannot get through. Let's see if Bram can do anything. See if he can just open it up. Or he can body slam it to open it. See some Molten Lights over there. A few dead Norn, which is sad, but a very cool thing. Oh, look at that statue of the wolf. Oh, multiple statues of wolves. But a very cool thing going on is that there seems to be that kind of a blizzard, which I feel like is, you know, that frost part of Flame and Frost.
Please, Wolf, let us not be too late.
Begin the incursion.
We can head into the cave here, where I just love how the Molten like Flame Legion look a lot. The Dredge are like okay. I like the Dredge that has like the flamethrower arm we saw earlier, but all the Char just look really, really cool with like the Dredge gear added onto it. Gathering destroy 100 invaders killed into this area where Kragstead is like the home of wolves. And there are a ton of Molten Alliance in here with some more prisoners, including one Haslo right there. So let's try to defeat the invaders here. This means war. It seems like they have already declared war upon these poor civilians here. We just have 2 left here. And let's try to get in the middle of them as best we can. Or I guess we could just focus down the stalker here. The Flame Legion's version of rocks. where there isn't really a version of Bram, just one that hits hard, I guess. Where let's go ahead and try to rescue this group, but it seems like we are in an area where they can open a big portal and we can see what comes out of it.
Hey, ugly. You're kidding, right? Look at you. I'm surprised you can even lift that mace.
This mace will be the last thing you see.
I'm going to enjoy punishing you.
Karos Burnt Grip. Let's go ahead and focus this enemy down. I do love that stun break. Let's summon our minion, where he just stunned us again. Let's try to deal as much damage as we can here and break his break bar so we can get some bonus damage in here. And he is a little bit tougher than the dredge that we fought. And he's also moving around a bunch, so we need to be careful here. And we can try to break his break bar as often as possible, but he's also like launching a bunch of stuff. So he has some sort of like dredge sonic weapon that's infused with like the Flame Legion magics that is just like doing like a deadly combination of like dredge technology with like Flame Legion magic weaponry thrown in. We're taking quite a bit of damage here actually. Let's try to break the break bar again and get some bonus damage. There we go, that's a lot of damage in. 20% remaining. Let's just try to throw everything we can down. He did interrupt one of our attacks there, but he's so close to dying as he keeps jumping around. There we go.
Oh, my young wolf. We should never have stayed behind. I'm glad to see friendly faces.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Bram. They took Otilia and her family.
What? Where? Why?
They're collecting prisoners. I don't know where they took them or why.
I hate this. We have to help Otilia and her family. First, I have to make sure these Steaders are okay. I've got this under control.
Let's chat with Bram here, where we just completed Hero's Aid. Successfully completed all the rocks in Bram, living story instances. Let's accept this. Completed the battle for Kragstead. Oslo, we can ask about Bram. His follower, the legendary Borge the Sun Chaser, came to Kragstead. I'm hoping I pronounced that. Borge? I have no idea. Borge to Kragstead with tiny Bram in his arms. I'll never forget that day. Where we can keep asking about the attack of the portals. We can check in with Bram here, and where we can ask what happens now. And he's going to get the survivors to Hobrak, and then we're going to look for the Alliance base. So it seems like Bram, this Norn that we have been helping, and then Rox, the Char that we were helping, seem to have the same goal in mind, where the Molten Alliance are attacking both the Char and the Norn. So we're going to have to try to deal with this situation and help both groups and both of these individuals that we have met. But there's this drop letter here. It says, Renyak, I hope you are well, but unfortunately I'm writing with a knife to my throat. Sintius informed us that some adversary named B is having us march on Kragstead, a small village just outside of Hobrak. I haven't met such a character myself, but Sintius and Falx are shaken by B's sway. They're already facing enough pushback from the Dredge for treating their woman with disrespect, so we're taking a slightly more diplomatic route. I will be leading the charge while they remain in the war room. When the place is burnt to a crisp, I will deliver the supplies you called for. I must say, whatever experiment they have you working on that requires that much Dildramore steel, well, it's going to take multiple trips to deliver it all. It better be worth the trip. Go with the might of rock, the will of steel. Written to some character named Renyak. Where we also got some chests here. This one's very cool because we have reached 2,500 achievement points, where we get a heavy achievement chest and 5 whole gold, where we can go ahead and get a bunch of stuff here that I'll mostly probably just ignore forever and try to sell like the Road vs. Road stuff. We did get this experience booster that I could just pop one, and then we got this from Dragon Bash, which is unimportant, and we can go out into the open road now for the next step. read the letter from Agent Brandoob, where we can locate the Alliance base, where we can go ahead and complete different things in Adiasa Plateau. And we also got a letter from Bram, where we are legendary. They've collected a bunch of intel on Molten Alliance crafted weapons. They've got labs down in the mines. I'm guessing that's where they took the prisoners to. Anyways, he will update us in the future. Where let's head to Adiasa Plateau, and I think we want to come to this waypoint, back to Nolan, where we have a Savari member of the Order Whisperers helping out with this situation, and we can go ahead and just go around the Wafer Foothills and Adiasa Plateaus, mostly Adiasa Plateau, I believe, and we can go ahead and just help out with this situation, where there are some dead drops that we can go ahead and collect, and then there's like a bunch of other stuff as well that we can do. Where we got this refugee signpost that we can go ahead and repair, which I think I've repaired a couple of before, and I'll just scroll all the way down here, or we can come here actually into Flame and Frost, and where we have a guiding sign here where we can go ahead and just build a third one, and we've completed that achievement. And I feel like, yes, we have refugee volunteer here, where we can assist the refugees 75 times from doing different things, completing events, and fixing the signposts and whatnot. Which this is a very special achievement for me, because you get the title volunteer, and volunteer is the first ever title that I earned in Guild Wars 2. So just a very special title for me. I never really use it ever, but I just love this title so much, just because it's the first one I ever got. And maybe I'll rep it on like my engineer character. It looks like if we run over here, we can find some Molten Alliance that we can go ahead and attack, where we can really just do a lot of stuff all around here. We can't really attack the Dredge Carrier, currently immune to damage. Let's go ahead and defeat the invaders first. And it's just fun to see some open world elements now in the story, which is going to be a very common part of the entirety of Guild Wars 2's story moving forward, where it incorporates open world aspects into it. We're just dealing a ton of damage right here. We're kind of like one-shotting some of these enemies. We have a veteran Molten Shaman here that we can go ahead and try to defeat. And then we just progress the Refugee Volunteer achievement, and we also progress this story mission a little bit as well. And we have all these markers, which I believe is taking us to dead drops that we can find. So maybe we could try to find one. We can also come into our mail here, where by the snowy tree behind Butchersard, base of a fissure in the rocky field north of the Bavarian estate. Fallen tree north of the caravan wreckage. So we have right over here, I found it, encoded dead drop. Let's go ahead and pick this up, and we can decode it specifically, where this is a very cool looking tree actually. Dead drop translated, where we can read the message ourselves. The Dredge and Flame Legion fought today. Cracks in their partnership are showing. Even in victory, their partnership is weak. Ideological differences. We got the pile of rocks right over here with another dead drop, and we do have an achievement to get all 6, so maybe we should focus this, because if we come into the achievements here, we can try to complete the Flame and Frost Mastery in order to get this fused gear, which is kind of important, but we can also get the fused shoulders. Right, let's translate this. Was nearly discovered at last drop. Flame Legion are getting suspicious or antsy. They don't like being this deep underground, away from the sun, having balefire rituals more often. Another dead drop that we can go ahead and decode here and read the message. Tensions are higher than usual this morning. I've heard whispers about someone called B. No one in the barracks can put a face to the name. Who is this? Are they pulling the strings? We have a dirt-covered object here that we can go ahead and pick up, and it's Refugees Wooden Soldier, where we can take it back to the Black Citadel. And then there's another dead drop up here, but there are a ton of harpies attacking us. This one reads, new prisoners every day. Some are put in pens, others taken away for weapons testing. Haven't heard anything about that. Not sure I want to. This one reads troop movements east, south, and west using caverns and digging machines to hasten passage underground. The caves expand for miles. I don't know how far they go. And then the final dead drop here, where we can read the message. They're building something massive in the heart of the mine, not letting just anyone get too close. I only caught a glimpse of it before I was ordered back to the line. So a lot of very interesting intel that we just got, where it seems like the Molten Alliance have been taking prisoners for like weapon testing and for other purposes, and taking them deep into a mine that expands a very long ways. And we have Bram and Rox on their tail, and now we kind of have an idea of what's going on as well. But there's also these sonic periscopes all around IS Plateau. Let's go ahead and attack this one. We're almost done with this, but we can get the sonic periscope wreckage. So let's go ahead and pick this up, where we got an audio log that we can take back to the agent. Hello agent, I found this. Let's give the audio log, and we can just help out a little bit more. Remember, let's check this, where we can use the order crypto translator to decrypt 12 dead drops. So apparently there's like 6 more that we can go find, but we were only given 6 here. But we are so close to finishing this, so let's go ahead and try to find maybe a couple of signs to repair. We do have a lot more for the refugee volunteer that we can do, and against the Alliance. And then we have this investigative study here, where there is a lot of stuff that we can read. Repair that, and then we can read the letter we just got from the agent, where we got an update on the investigation, where we can go ahead and find 6 dead drops around the Wayfarer foothills. And we've completed this story mission, so let's go ahead and get our reward here, where we got an encrypted thank you letter, which is fun. And then we can go ahead and read the letter from Bram, where our time has come at Thessalian. I've been talking with the Vigil about the attack on Kragstead. They agreed that I could join the raid on the Molten Alliance, and now's the time. The Vigil is making surprise attacks against as many of the Molten Alliance's weapon facilities as possible to rescue prisoners and crush the invasion, and they need help. Join us. I'd be honored to fight by your side once more. Return to Wayfarer Foothills or Daza Plateau, and watch for any indication that they found an entrance. Bring friends, lots of them. I'll be there, ready to bust some molten heads and buy Wolf, and I'm looking forward to it. So we can head to the Molten Alliance facility, where we can find the Molten Furnace story mission here. Where this episode is becoming a little bit long, but let's just try to do a few more things really quickly. Where let's read the 6 dead drops in Wayfarer Foothills, and I'll just skip to each one of them. Took out a power plant by exploiting unstable elementals and valve weaknesses, caught the engineers by surprise. That's 2 dredge and 1 Flame Legion soldier less for us. B was in the mine again, didn't catch a glimpse of them, but the dredge are uneasy. Vova, one of the higher ranks, is especially anxious when our mystery benefactor is around. They're starting to experiment on each other. Blood transfusions, the works. Killed a couple Char, but some of the tests have been successful. They come out stronger, larger. The smell down here. I want this on record. The food down here is the nastiest slop I've ever tasted. Just crap. If I survive, I want a vacation or a bonus. I'll flay anyone who tries to return me to field ops. Got a good look at a dredge drilling machine's controls. They're not that different from Char machinery, partly altered so Flame Legion soldiers can operate it. Could work in our favor. And then this should be the final dead drop that we need to get. Right, let's read this. Every time I get a glimpse of the weapon in the main facility, my blood runs cold. It's massive. Not sure what it's for yet, but I don't think we want to wait and see. I'd sooner destroy it. So they're working on some sort of massive weapon, and they have some sort of mysterious benefactor, where we can also, from the Wayfarer Foothills, or actually I guess we do have to go all the way over here, we can go ahead and enter the Molten Furnace next episode, where this has been a very long episode as we have begun Living World Season 1, but I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope you all are excited to continue through Living World Season 1, because I am definitely excited. And as always, I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in the world of Tyria. Goodbye.